from very rainy Ubud here in Bali. So today I am actually leaving this lovely city and going somewhere that is quite different. Nusa Penida is just off the east coast of Bali, about a 30-minute speedboat ride away. But it is quite different than Bali in the sense that it is not as developed. It was really only in 2013 that tourism even started there. Apparently just up to the pandemic, it was getting quite busy. There were a lot of tourists that were going there. But since the pandemic has happened, it is said that it has quieted down quite a bit. And most people also just go for a day trip where you just like leave Ubud or Canggu or something very early in the morning and come back at night. Not a lot of people spend a night or 2 or 3 there. I'm going to be spending 4 nights on Nusa Penida because I just figured that it is supposed to be somewhere, you know, much more quiet, much more remote, and has absolutely amazing nature. There's also a bit of a dark history when it comes to Nusa Penida, which I'll share with you guys later on in the video. But all in all, I think it's going to be a very interesting place to go. After an hour-long drive from Ubud, we arrived at Kusamba Harbor, which is one of many harbors in the east coast of Bali. While there is a more local way to get to Nusa Penida where each way only costs $2 or $3, apparently the schedule can really differ from day to day, so you risk missing the boat, and also if you have any luggage, that may also be a problem. So the easiest alternative is to just buy a round-trip speedboat ticket from one of the many tourist stalls in Ubud or Canggu, where usually it should cost you about $50 round trip to be picked up from your hotel, driven at least an hour to the port, a 30-minute ferry ride each way, and then also your transfer back. Now, while the boat ride itself was fine, and technically this was a day where there was quite good weather, I did get a little bit motion sick. So just wanted to mention that if you're someone who is susceptible to that, maybe take a pill an hour or 2 before you get on the boat, because the water out to the island does get quite rough. Another important thing to mention is that there is no grab or go check on Nusa Penida. You either have your own transportation or hire a driver. I decided to order a taxi from the hotel that I was staying at because they gave me a pretty good rate, and that's just another thing to keep in mind, is that there's not a lot of taxi drivers on Nusa Penida, so if you're expecting to get someone right when you arrive, know that there's probably not going to be a lot of options, and they may try and get as much money as they can out of you, so it's better to book ahead. And on the topic of getting your own transportation, I know I'm going to sound like a grandma about this. I have talked about this many times, but please do not be renting a scooter here on Nusa Penida or mainland Bali where there's a lot of traffic or really bad roads unless you're a very experienced driver in Southeast Asia. I was talking to my guide here on Nusa Penida, who you'll meet later in the video, and he was actually telling me how every single day there is a bike accident on Nusa Penida, and almost always it involves foreigners. I know it looks fun, I know it's the most budget-friendly way to get around, but honestly, unless you have that amount of experience and you actually have your motorcycle license, just don't do it. The condition of the roads in a good portion of the island are really not in good condition. It is really difficult to get to some places, so just budget that extra amount of money to hire a private driver would be my recommendation. It was meant to be, guys. My lucky number 3. Welcome to my crib for the next 4 nights. Looks very nice. Over here I also have my own washroom, which is good. And overall, I think this is a pretty good value at about 35 US dollars, and that is breakfast included. Now, a quick mention about accommodation here on NUSA PENIDA. As you guys saw, this is an island that is still developing as far as tourism goes. There is a lot of different places that you will see, you know, just searching on Google Maps or even looking on booking.com. But I was really surprised to see how few places actually have any substantial amount of reviews. So it's up to you how you want to do it, but personally I would recommend going with a place that has, you know, a more substantial amount of reviews and has a good reputation, since you are kind of, you know, in the middle of nowhere. There is no cell service in this area. Like, thankfully there is good Wi-Fi, it seems, in this hotel. And also this hotel is like a 15-minute walk from Crystal Bay, which is the main beach where you can go swimming on NUSA PENIDA. So it's nice that I can at least just walk to that area. But yeah, I'm very happy with my place, and I think I'm going to take a bit of a rest, unpack a little bit, and then probably head down to Crystal Bay to grab some lunch. We are definitely out in the boonies, and I kind of like it. I actually imagine that NUSA PENIDA is probably what Bali was like, you know, maybe 50 years ago, before the droves of tourists started going there. I see corn on the cob. Very happy. All right, we have made it to Crystal Bay. Lovely. So from first impressions, there's not really like, you know, sit down kind of building restaurants. It is more like, you know, you sit on the beach and there's like a small kitchen in the back type of restaurants, which is fine. I'm sure the food is going to be great. And before I left, I saw that on this side of the beach there's a restaurant that had like really good reviews, so I think I'll start with that one. So I ended up getting the grilled tuna with rice, but then I saw on the menu they also have grilled corn, so you know what's happening. Good morning, guys. It is another day in paradise. I'm just having my breakfast at my little hotel and I am waiting for my driver to come pick me up. So as I mentioned before, it's a bit tricky to get around NUSA PENIDA unless you are an expert driver in Southeast Asia and want to rent your own scooter. If you don't have that option, you are more or less left to having local drivers drive you around, and usually you can book that, you know, through your hotel, through a tour agency, or Airbnb experiences. So I found a tour that takes me to one beach on the east side of the island, which is Diamond Beach. It's supposed to be absolutely beautiful. And then the most famous one, what is the name? Clinking. For some reason I always forget it, but it's the beach that everybody like has a picture of if they visit NUSA PENIDA. You guys will see what I mean when I get there. And then there's actually two places close to me, which is Broken Beach and then Angel Billabong, which is on the west coast of the island, which we will see last. So I'm excited for today. It's going to be awesome to get a big overview of all the different parts of the island, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. Alright guys, we are entering Diamond Beach. I'm here with my tour guide, Ron.
Hi, everybody.
Ron, can you tell us why is this such a famous place? Like, what's so special about Diamond Beach?
Alright, the Diamond Beach basically is a really nice beach. And there are so many islands, small islands.
Oh yeah, wow.
That's why we are called Diamond Beach, because the small rocks look like a diamond.
And it's actually not just Diamond Beach. There was the Atu Beach,
the
right?
right side it's a Diamond Beach, and the left side it's called Atu Beach. Yeah, that's really recommendation for the life on the beach when the people living in this island, staying in this islands like 1 night, 2 nights.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of time for relaxing, chill on the beach, right?
Nice, nice. They actually did a pretty good job at building this path.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice there's a hand railing, I will say. This beach is spectacular, guys. Like, wow. You feel like you're in paradise. The water is crystal clear. But right off the bat, you can tell these waves are not playing around. Like, I'm on the fence of whether I should actually go in the water. Because, like, it just covers you whole. It covers you whole. It's so strong. You're gonna do like a somersault. I still have like a full day ahead of exploring, and I don't particularly feel like swallowing a whole bunch of salt water. But it is beautiful. Like, definitely this beach is way prettier than like Crystal Bay is, where you can easily go swimming, but far more dangerous. So we are making our way to the most famous beach in all of NUSA PENIDA. This is called Clinking, right?
It's called Clinking Beach.
Clinking. Clinking. And
it's a pinky finger, right?
Oh, that's what it means?
Finger, that's local people, it's called Clinking Finger.
Ah.
Clinking Beach because the rocks look like...
Oh, I had no idea. Okay. Well, we're getting here midday, so I know the crowds are going to be crazy. You can go down to the bottom of the beach, right? Yeah. But probably not recommended because the stairs are even more treacherous than Diamond Beach, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and with these crowds, probably not a good idea.
And then you spend like 30 minutes go down until to the beach.
Yeah.
And going back up like double then.
Oh my god, yeah. So you're like in traffic on these stairs for like an hour and a half.
That's right.
Jeez. Alright. Well, here it is, guys. We are on the famous ridge of it. We can't see down to the beach just yet, but is this the line? Do you think this is the line to get a picture?
That's right.
Oh my god. Oh, Instagram versus reality.
That's really Instagram-able.
Yeah. So what I wonder is, what time would you have to come here to have it all to yourself?
For the like go downstairs to the
yeah,
beach?
When there's like nobody else here.
Come to here around 6 or 7.
Yeah, 7 at the latest probably, right?
Yeah, probably 6 best one.
Or get your like accommodation right here.
That's
right? Yeah. Yeah.
You need to stay in this island for
this area.
a night or 2 nights.
For sure. Our last stop of the day, I am going to voice over just because the weather did take a turn and the wind was quite strong, so the sound quality wasn't very good. Our last 2 stops of the day were Angel Billabong, which is this interesting whirlpool amongst the cliffs, and then also Broken Beach, which is this stunning area with a walkway going over top the water. It was especially nice that we got here around 4 or 5 p.m., meaning that a lot of the day trippers had already headed back to mainland Bali, and there were so few people around. You really just got to take in the natural beauty of the island, and it was incredibly peaceful. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, Nusa Penida does have a bit of a dark history because back in the 1900s it was actually called Bandit Island. At the time, the Clinking Regency used to deport Nusa Penida its criminals, political opponents, and people who supposedly practiced black magic. Obviously, times have changed and people love visiting Nusa Penida. The locals here are truly very kind, down to earth, very welcoming. I had an amazing tour with Ron, and even though I booked it on Airbnb, I would highly recommend reaching out to him directly to book a tour, because then you are giving your money directly to a local instead of a middleman. So I'm going to put his WhatsApp number in the description of the video. Would definitely recommend him as a guide since he has lived here all his life. And overall, I just had a fantastic time on this island. I would definitely recommend checking it out and ideally staying overnight. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm a bit shocked to say that this is actually going to be my last video in Indonesia before I head somewhere else. It has been an amazing couple of months. I hope you guys have enjoyed the videos, and I will see you in the next one. Keep being your own kind of beautiful. Bye guys.